Good morning. Coming up on Coastal Sunrise Weekend, the search for a missing woman leads to the discovery of a body in her submerged car. Also, progress continues on the renovations at Forsyth Park, but the price tag is also going up. Matt?
And for today, we do have a cold front moving through. Scattered showers and storms are possible. The very latest is coming up.
Now, with what's new now and next to plan your day, you're watching WSAV News 3 on your side, Coastal Sunrise at 6, Weekend.
Good morning. It's Saturday, April 4th. I'm Raquel Rodriguez. Thank you for joining us on Coastal Sunrise Weekend. A Wayne County community is left with questions after police believe they found the body of a missing woman. That's this morning's top story. 73-year-old Willie Jo Vaughn disappeared over a week ago. Authorities recovered her submerged car near a boat ramp on the Altamaha River in Jessup yesterday evening, and there was a body inside. Police say the tip came from a fisherman. Meanwhile, two people close to Vaughn are behind bars, though the Wayne County Sheriff's Office say they are not suspects at this time. Vaughn's daughter, Eugenia Schell, has been charged with making false statements and aggravated stalking after deputies say she violated a protection order her mother filed. Schell's boyfriend, Christopher Pierce, is also charged with making false statements to police. The Wayne County Sheriff's Office tells us the body will be taken to the GBI Crime Lab for positive identification and to determine a cause of death. A Port Wentworth man who tried to blame a shooting on his girlfriend will be headed to court. Police tell us the alleged victim, Matthew Akumura, told police his girlfriend shot him at their home on Holly Springs Circle Thursday night, but police say he shot himself. He's been charged with 9 different crimes, from false statements to reckless conduct. He's scheduled to appear in court April 8th. Meanwhile, Metro Police are looking for a suspect accused of shooting a 16-year-old boy during a robbery attempt Wednesday night. Officers say Anthony Crawford was shot by another teen who tried to steal his bicycle. He's expected to survive. Now police are looking for 17-year-old Jamari Cartledge. We're told he lives in the 1200 block of East 39th Street, near where the shooting took place. Anyone with information on Cartledge's whereabouts is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 912-234-2020. A Savannah man is behind bars this morning, accused of setting fire to his probation office. 24-year-old Jameer Riley allegedly set a wall on fire Friday afternoon at the office on Southern Oaks Court. That's off Chatham Parkway. Everyone inside the building had to be evacuated, but the damage was limited to the bathroom. Well, turning now to weather, here's a live look at downtown Savannah, courtesy of Savannah Cams. Looking pretty nice out there along the Savannah River, but what will the weather change? Let's head over to meteorologist Matt Devitt, who has your first forecast. Matt?
Yeah, nice shot right there. For today, the umbrella, good advice, bring it. Scattered showers, even a few thunderstorms are possible. The cloud cover increasing ahead of a cold front right now slicing our area into two. You can see that around Georgia into South Carolina. It's coming in from the northwest, moving towards the southeast, and we are already seeing some of that rain, especially around our northern counties. They have seen the rain so far around Augusta. The rain chances for today at about 40 to 50%. Current temperature is 64 degrees at the airport, very mild, very muggy, setting the scene for those scattered showers later on today. 63 in Hinesville and 61 for the current temperature in Jessup. But the best chance of rain for today, if you're planning your day, it's going to be during the late morning into the early afternoon in Savannah. Temperatures topping out right around our seasonal average in the lower to middle 70s, and the cloud cover will be increasing, but I do expect the cloud cover to break apart during the late afternoon, just in time for dinner time. Raquel?
All right, thank you, Matt. Well, frustrations continue over stalled negotiations in the Savannah-Chatham County police merger. During Thursday's city council meeting, the mayor and aldermen directed city staff to make one last attempt at getting the county to join with them in mediation. A letter being sent to the county will give 10 days to respond, or aldermen say they will begin moving forward with other plans to keep city residents safe. The Police Benevolent Association of Georgia released a statement on the importance of the continued merger and urged leaders on both sides to remain open to mediation. A $47,000 do-over. We found out that's the cost to the city to solve the ongoing saga of the fountain at Forsyth Park. Earlier this month, work began to demolish the fountain, which opened a few years ago as part of the renovation of the bandshell and fort area. But the city says children were getting inside part of the fountain and could have been injured. Now, as you can see from video we took yesterday, the demolition is almost complete. A spray pool will now be installed. The work is costing an additional $47,500.
But you could have used $47,000 for something else, right?
Or we could have used $47,000 for a fence that would have kept people out. So I think really, letting the public in, getting it interactive, I think that's really a great direction for the city to go in.
The city says no new funds per se are being requested. The demolition and installation of a new spray fountain are expected to be completed by the end of April. While a college party on the beach known as Orange Crush is usually held on one weekend on Tybee, but now Savannah Police says it's expanding and they are preparing for an influx of partiers. Officers tell News 3 they have heard of Orange Crush events at locations throughout our area starting April 12th, one which was planned for the Civic Center lost its permit once they saw its racy poster spotlight two half-naked women. And the county has banned alcohol from an event planned for next Friday at Lake Mare. Police say they don't know how many of these events will actually exist, but they will have extra patrols and may ask for more help just in case. And Tybee police are already getting extra officers for the weekend of the 19th, the official weekend of Orange Crush. A South Carolina sailor missing at sea for 66 days is alive and well. 37-year-old Lewis Jordan was lost at sea after his sailboat capsized, leaving him drifting far from shore. Reported missing on January 29th, Jordan set out for a fishing trip when the Coast Guard says his sailboat's mast broke and his electronic gear was damaged during rough weather. But on Thursday, after more than 2 months at sea with a broken shoulder, his fortunes changed. A German-flagged vessel rescued Jordan about 200 miles east of North Carolina's Cape Hatteras.
When I was running out of water, drinking a pint a day for a very long time, rationing that water, almost out. Finally, God answered my prayer right before I ran out of water.
Jordan says he managed to survive by catching fish with his bare hands and eating it raw and trapping rainwater. In politics this morning, Texas Republican Senator Ted Cruz is visiting several South Carolina cities this weekend trying to drum up support for his presidential campaign. South Carolina is the first southern state to hold a presidential primary. And it's official, News 3 has confirmed Kentucky Senator Rand Paul will announce his bid for the Republican presidential nomination. Paul will officially make the announcement on Tuesday in Louisville. And he has an event scheduled in South Carolina. On Thursday, he will visit and deliver a speech aboard the USS Yorktown. He'll also travel to New Hampshire, Iowa, and Las Vegas. In national news, Bluebell Ice Cream has suspended operations at its plant in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma, to find out what led to some products becoming contaminated with listeria. Last month, Bluebell recalled several products made at this facility, as well as one in Texas. Kansas health officials say 3 people died from a listeria outbreak that could be linked to Bluebell products. The company says after the source of the contamination is found and all issues are resolved, the Oklahoma plant will reopen. Meanwhile, opening day at one of the country's most popular theme parks turned out to be more of a thrill than parkgoers were expecting. At about 4 p.m. yesterday, Six Flags St. Louis lost power to many of its rides and attractions, leaving some riders stranded. It took about 30 minutes for park workers to safely remove everyone from rides, and no one was injured. And a 6-year-old from suburban Atlanta started a fundraising effort for a special friend, a 4-year-old police dog who needed a bulletproof vest. It was part of a community service project. $2,400 later, student Caden Kelly presented a custom-fitted vest for his new pal. Well, coming up next at 6:12 on Coastal Sunrise Weekend. From art to egg hunts, there are plenty of Easter activities to enjoy with the family. And a $1 billion pipeline project proposed to run through our area is getting a lot of pushback. Find out when and where you can give your 2 cents. We'll be right back. You're watching Coastal Sunrise Weekend. Welcome back. If you decided not to sleep in and get a head start on your weekend, News 3's Courtney Cole is here to let us know about some events that you can take advantage of in our area today. What's going on, Courtney?
Thanks, Raquel. Yes, we finally made it. So now, here's what's happening. If art's your thing, you'll definitely want to stop by the River Street Art Fest today. The free event is happening on Savannah's historic River Street starting at 10 a.m. You'll also be able to catch some live music too. The fest wraps up at 10 p.m. tonight. And we can't forget it's also Easter weekend, so here are some fun things for you and your family to hop into. If you're in the Richmond Hill area, there'll be a community egg hunt today at J.F. Gregory Park. It starts at 10:30 a.m. There'll also be food, entertainment, games, and of course, you'll get your chance to get a picture with the Easter Bunny. And here in Savannah, you and the kids can join the Easter Bunny and Nate the Gnat in an egg hunt at Grayson Stadium. It's from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. There'll also be bubble soccer and music from the local band Tell Scarlet. And we can't forget about our South Carolina viewers. If you're in Hilton Head this weekend, you can join us for an Easter egg hunt fun in Harbortown. There will be an Easter egg hunt at the Sea Pines Resort. It starts at 11 a.m. and it ends when all the eggs are found, so you better make sure you get out there early. You can find out more about these events and other Easter activities in your area by searching Easter egg hunts on WSAV.com. Courtney Cole, WSAV News 3.
All right, thank you, Courtney. Sounds like some fun. And if you're thinking about adding a bunny to the family, you may want to rethink it.
It's a really bad reason to add a new family member just because it's Easter time.
Allison from the Humane Society for Greater Savannah says rabbits can be expensive due to the specific food and medical treatment they need. She also says rabbits should not be kept in cages all day. She tells us they need exercise and mental stimulation or they can become aggressive. So if you aren't ready for an 8-year commitment, maybe stick with those chocolate bunnies instead.
Now, Storm Team 3 weather powered by Hargray Live Titan Radar.
And just how will the weather be for Easter? I'll get you that forecast coming up in just 1 second. But yesterday, oh, what a beautiful day. It was warm, 86 degrees in Savannah. I hope you enjoyed it. No rain, breezy at times, and it has been a pleasant but muggy night, setting the scene for that cold front that is going to be moving through over the next several hours. That is going to bump up our rain chances to 40, even 50%. So here's what we have going on. The rain extending from Augusta, Georgia towards Macon, most of it light to moderate, a couple pockets of some brief heavy rain. And the plan is this cold front will move through, especially during the afternoon and evening hours. Once that occurs, drier air will start to move in. Chilly for tonight. We're talking lows in the upper 40s to lower 50s. But before we get to that, a chance of scattered showers and storms. 64 degrees is where we stand in Savannah, 66 for Hilton Head, 66. Good morning to you in Sylvania. Here is a look at that cooler air, northern Alabama into Tennessee, where they had some severe weather yesterday. 43 in Nashville, 48 in Memphis, and 47 for the current temperature in Little Rock. So notice how hour by hour our rain chances will increase, especially late morning into the early afternoon. High temperatures topping out in the lower to middle 70s. A lot of cloud cover during the afternoon, and then by the late afternoon, early evening hours, that drier air will start to work its way in, and we will break that cloud cover as some sunshine starts to peek through. So let's take a look at our computer model hour by hour. This is around 9:30 in the morning. It's going to come in from the northwest. Notice how most of the coverage towards the northwest of Savannah. Speaking of Savannah, as we go throughout the day, this is around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Scattered showers, a good bet. I-16, I-95. The best chance of thunderstorms for today will be around the Georgia and Florida border. That's where energy and instability will be greater. But notice how for your Saturday evening, that drier air moves in as the temperatures start to drop. Because this is such a fast cold front, and because the rain, although yes brief, is not really going to add up. Notice how the rainfall total is not very impressive, at or below 1/10 of an inch, where we do have a little bit heavier rainfall, could see over 1/4 of an inch, especially around the Georgia and Florida border. Winds breezy at times. Temperatures for what we typically can expect for early April could be as mild and warm as 79 farther inland, and for the coast you will be in the lower 70s. Bring the jacket for tonight all the way into your Easter Sunday morning. Mostly clear skies, much cooler and drier, and that wind at 5 to 10 will make it feel even cooler. If you do have any plans to take out the boat, my advice would be either now, over the next 3 hours, or during the late afternoon, because as you know, we're going to have those rain chances to deal with, especially around noon. Over the next 3 days, your Easter Sunday, very slight chance of rain, 10%. We're going to start mostly sunny and then more clouds during the second half of the day. Speaking of clouds, a whole lot of it on Monday. Could even see some scattered showers and storms. Rain chances at 40% with high temperatures in the lower to middle 70s. But Easter Sunday, not bad.
And I was actually surprised at how warm it felt this morning around 2:45 when I was getting ready to come into work.
Temps in the 60s, and even yesterday was 86 degrees, so hope everybody enjoyed it.
Nice spring temperatures we're having.
Very nice.
All right, thank you, Matt.
Yep.
Well, 60 million gallons of discharge a day versus up to 800 jobs. All that discussed in Jessup this week regarding the ongoing topic and often controversy of the Rainier plant there. News 3's Joanne Merrigan is finding out how people feel about a new discharge permit for the plant.
Our people are on the river twice a month.
Tuesday night, dozens met to discuss a new discharge permit for Rainier, with the company saying it's made a lot of progress in recent years on cleaning up the discharge.
If you look at the crowd in the room, we see quite a few stickers saying they support the permit, and I would say that there's certainly a noisy minority out there that has been raising concerns, and we've been working to address the concerns that they had, and we've made great progress.
Jessup Mayor David Keith agrees.
If you go out and look at the effluent that's coming out of the discharge out of the water and all now is heads and tails above what it used to be 15 years ago.
Whatever progress has been made, the Altamaha Riverkeeper says it's not enough and certainly wasn't all voluntary. In 2008, the state told Rainier it needed to do more to clean the discharge. In 2011, this is what it still looked like when we went out on the river. And the Riverkeeper says it's not much better now.
But we are taking 60 million gallons of pristine aquifer water that belongs to the public. That's you, that's me, and that's everyone who lives and recreates here. And they are tainting it and putting it back into the river with a foul odor and a foul color.
Riverkeeper Jen Hilburn worries the new draft permit isn't strong enough and will never force Rainier to clean up the mess it's made in the river.
The new permit has much more stringent requirements than our previous permit, but because of improvements we've made over the last 5 or 6 years, we're confident that we can meet those new requirements.
This is not something that's going to go away until we have clean water coming into our river. We will fight every day as long as it takes to get clean water in our river.
Joanne Merrigan, WSAV News 3.
A new permit will be issued by the state from the Georgia Environmental Protection Division, or EPD. In an attempt to get more attention about the discharge, the Riverkeeper filed suit against Rainier last year in federal court, saying the discharge violated the Federal Clean Water Act. But coincidentally, that suit was dismissed this week, on the same day the hearing for the new permit was held. By the way, Rainier's current permit is about 15 years old and has not been updated since 2001. Meanwhile, a $1 billion pipeline project proposed to run through Georgia and parts of South Carolina is getting a lot of pushback. It was standing room only during a public meeting in Effingham County. Many people who showed up tell us they believe the risks outweigh the rewards.
My opinion is that they're just running through Georgia to get to Jacksonville. I don't believe that they have a vested interest in Savannah, and I think that they're just teeing off here to say that the Georgia public needs it.
This is a $1 billion project that's going to help provide additional energy supply, economic development, and reliability.
If you have any comments or concerns about this project, the Department of Transportation will host a public hearing about the Palmetto Pipeline on April 21st. That'll be held at the Richmond Hill City Center starting at 5 p.m. We posted all of that information on our website under links we mentioned. Coming up next at 6:24 on Coastal Sunrise Weekend, a man with a long crime history is wanted by Garden City Police. We'll introduce you to the suspect in this morning's Fugitive Files. And take a look in your wallet. There's some credit cards thieves are more likely to target than others. We'll show you what to look out for. We'll be right back. In this week's Crime Stoppers report, Metro Police need your help getting our area's most wanted off the streets and behind bars. The FBI and Savannah Chatham Metro Police need your help identifying a man who they believe may have been involved in 5 bank robberies in our area. The robbery started in September of last year, and the most recent was March 19th at Wells Fargo on Abercorn Street. Both Crime Stoppers and the FBI are offering rewards for information that leads to an arrest and conviction in this case. Now, if you have any information on the suspect, please call Crime Stoppers at 912-234-2020. As always, you can remain anonymous. Well, it's a scene right out of a crime show. A suspect leaves behind evidence and police collect DNA to determine who it is. Andrew Davis explains in this week's Fugitive File.
Kevin Chaplin has a long criminal history for drugs, burglary, and robbery. Garden City Police say he added to those charges last August.
The victim was inside of the residence watching television in his living room when a black male suspect broke through the glass with a towel wrapped around his face, snatched his chain from around his neck, and demanded his car keys. Attempted to steal the car, was unable to start the car, the alarm went off, The suspect fled the area, leaving the towel behind.
That towel was the key to making a case, almost like an episode right off TV.
We were fortunate to find the towel on scene, and it did have his blood, and we were able to submit that to the GBI crime lab.
Kevin Chaplin is 5 foot 4 inches tall, 127 pounds, and police think he is still in the Savannah area.
If someone should come into contact with him, they should use caution. They should call 911 and let us approach him and let us talk with him.
If you can help find Kevin Chaplin, call Crime Stoppers at 234-2020. And remember, if your tip leads to an arrest, you could be eligible for a cash reward. For Fugitive Files, I'm Andrew Davis.
Another fugitive file suspect, Kendrick Deal, is behind bars. Deal is accused of stealing a Pontiac from a used car dealership. Deal's arrest marks 119 fugitive file suspects arrested. And you can see all of the suspects we profiled on WSAV.com. Just click on Fugitive Files under the News tab. In this morning's Consumer Alert, there's some credit cards fraudsters are more likely to target. A year-long study by Forder, which makes fraud prevention software for online retailers, found that so-called elite credit cards have nearly twice the fraud rates as other types of regular credit cards. Elite cards are usually invitation-only cards, carry hefty fees, and require cardholders to charge at least 6 figures per year. That means a big fraudulent purchase could be overlooked, unless the card owner pays close attention to the card's account activity. Meanwhile, it's the latest scam targeting large numbers of people across the nation. The promise of big money could end up costing you big time. If you receive a letter like this one saying you're eligible for a huge inheritance, read it carefully.
They had a deceased relative who left millions of dollars in a bank vault in Spain, and that they needed to send processing fees in order to get this money.
Between $1,300 and $1,500 to claim what the letter says is the abandoned sum of money. Some victims sent that money and realized the hard way that they have been scammed. Postal inspectors have some simple advice so you're not taken advantage of.
Legitimate law firms who have been appointed to distribute actual funds such as this would never ask for fees, would never contact you with a simple letter asking for fees.
And as the temperature starts rising across the country, many homeowners decide to tackle some home improvements, and crooked contractors and scammers start popping up. Consumer Reports recommends avoiding contractors who contact you unsolicited and get recommendations from friends, neighbors, or relatives. They also recommend that you check with your state consumer protection agency and the Better Business Bureau. Search the web for the contractor's name or the company's name with words like complaints or reviews. And Consumer Reports also says you should know your rights. Some states allow you 3 days to cancel a home improvement contract. And coming up next at 6:32 on Coastal Sunrise Weekend, a South Carolina man lost at sea for more than 60 days is rescued. Find out about his remarkable journey when we come back. And welcome back to Coastal Sunrise Weekend. We're taking a live look at our Tybee Tower Cam, courtesy of Savannah Cams. A beautiful shot out there and a beautiful morning, but will it last? Let's head over to meteorologist Matt Devitt with a look at your forecast. Matt?
Well, we do have a chance of rain later on during the late morning, early afternoon. Beautiful shots, 65 degrees. We are looking east on Tybee Island. Winds out of the southwest at 5 to 10. Have held up our temperatures. The clouds will continue to increase. They will thicken. The reason why our weather will be changing, we have a cold front slicing Georgia and South Carolina into two. It's approaching Macon. They are seeing some of that rain and across our extreme northern counties. The rain coming in from the west, moving east. Nothing too major. No lightning has been detected. Just a few sprinkles and some light rain. Very mild temperatures, well above average. 62 in Bluffton, 65 for Tybee, out towards the west. More of the same for Statesboro. Good morning to you, 66. 63 in Hinesville and Jessup at 63 degrees. So best chance of rain in Savannah will be during the late morning into the early afternoon. Rain chances, give or take, 40 to 50%. If you do have any outdoor plans around that time frame, bring the umbrella. High temperatures in the lower to middle 70s with winds breezy at times. Raquel?
All right, thank you, Matt. Well, a Wayne County community is left with questions after police believe they found the body of a missing woman. That's this morning's top story. 73-year-old Willie Jovan disappeared over a week ago. Authorities recovered her submerged car near a boat ramp on the Altamaha River in Jessup yesterday evening, and there was a body inside. Police say the tip came from a fisherman. Meanwhile, 2 people close to Vaughn are behind bars, though the Wayne County Sheriff's Office say they are not suspects at this time. Vaughn's daughter, Eugenia Schell, has been charged with making false statements and aggravated stalking after deputies say she violated a protection order her mother filed. Schell's boyfriend, Christopher Pierce, is also charged with making false statements to police. The Wayne County Sheriff's Office tells us the body will be taken to the GBI Crime Lab for positive identification and to determine a cause of death. A Conway, South Carolina man left a local marina January 23rd to go fishing and had not been seen or heard from until last night. Lewis Jordan was discovered floating 200 miles off the coast of Cape Hatteras. Nick Valencia has more on his remarkable story of survival.
Lewis Jordan named his 35-foot sailboat Angel and often posted Facebook pictures like these from her deck. Now bearded and red-nosed after what he says was 66 days stranded at sea, he credits that angel and his Bible with helping him survive.
When you hear about people surviving for a long time in hard conditions, they always have a Bible. That's like the main thing that keeps people going. It's power. There's power in that like nothing else.
According to the 37-year-old, he left the South Carolina coast for a solo fishing trip in January and capsized 3 times in rough weather.
Somewhere along that time frame, his mast was broken and his comms gear, all of his electronics were damaged.
This German container ship spotted Jordan Thursday nearly 200 miles off the coast. Within hours,
Roger,
the U.S. Coast Guard airlifted him into a chopper and brought him to Norfolk, Virginia to be reunited with his family, showing them his broken collarbone.
Okay, here we go.
And even posing for selfies.
This is a strong man.
You would expect sunburn, severe sunburn, blisters, maybe a bunch of medical issues that could possibly be wrong with him for not eating for so long or hydrated, but for him to be in his current state was pretty amazing.
Jordan says he survived on rainwater and sea life, even trying jellyfish.
So I just took a little bit on my tongue. Pow! Oh, wow. That hurt a long time.
Jordan attributes his survival skills to months of living on the boat after losing his job.
I've been struggling with work. I've been living in a sailboat, which is rent-free, and catching my food from the river with a net.
Is this miracle on a ship named Angel too good to be true?
Or do you doubt his story?
I can't really say I doubt his story at all. I mean, as soon as we flew over land and I saw the smile on his face, that pretty much secured it for me.
Nick Valencia, CNN, Norfolk, Virginia.
In a News 3 crime and safety report, a Fort Wentworth man who tried to blame a shooting on his girlfriend will be headed to court. Police tell us the alleged victim, Matthew Akumura, told police his girlfriend shot him at their home on Holly Springs Circle Thursday night, but police say he shot himself. He's been charged with 9 different crimes, from false statements to reckless conduct. He's scheduled to appear in court April 8th. Meanwhile, Metro Police are looking for a suspect accused of shooting a 16-year-old boy during a robbery attempt Wednesday night. Officers say Anthony Crawford was shot by another teen who tried to steal his bicycle. He's expected to survive. Now, police are looking for 17-year-old Jamari Cartledge. We're told he lives in the 1200 block of East 39th Street, near where the shooting took place. Anyone with information on Cartledge's whereabouts is asked to call Crime Stoppers at 912-234-2020. And coming up next at 6:38 on Coastal Sunrise Weekend, germs could be lurking on your cell phone. We'll show you how to kill them without killing your phone. And Easter is normally a time for chocolate. We'll show you some healthier options that will still keep your kids happy. You're watching Coastal Sunrise Weekend. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Many Americans are jumping into spring cleaning mode, but there may be something you're overlooking. Here's a hint. You touch it every day and it's dirtier than your bathroom. Brian Moore is finding out where the germs are.
It seems we can't keep our hands off our electrical devices, and we're leaving behind germs, dirt, and dust. So how do we clean those pricey gadgets without damaging them?
One of the things you want to make sure you don't do is use glass cleaners or solvents on screens like tablets, computer monitors, and smartphones.
Abrasive cleaners break down the special coating that lets fingers glide over the screen. TVs also have a delicate surface that could be damaged by ammonia, alcohol, or even paper towels. Instead, use a microfiber cloth, slightly dampened if needed.
The problem is if you use a strong enough abrasive, it's like taking a varnish off a beautiful painting. You've just, you've ruined your masterpiece.
Devices with crevices like keyboards collect grime over time. Use a gas duster to blow out the gunk.
One trick is to turn it over and then to use the compressed air to blow out the dust so that it falls out when you're doing that.
But that doesn't kill germs. Brace yourself, the average cell phone harbors about 18 times more bacteria than a public toilet handle. This device, called phone soap, uses UV light to sanitize phones while they're charging. Just a few ways to keep bacteria at bay on the devices we use most. Brian Moore, NBC News.
Not only do your tech toys need a wash, but also your hands. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says hand washing is like a do-it-yourself vaccine. When you're teaching your kids, the CDC says have them scrub their hands for at least 20 seconds. An easy way to remember, hum the happy birthday song from beginning to end twice. And speaking of kids, we're just a day away from Easter, and as you prepare the Easter baskets, there are ways to make them healthier. The retail website mydeals.com projects American kids will eat 5,000 calories worth of junk food over the holiday. So how do you cut down on the unhealthy treats but still keep your kids happy? A food nutritionist says load up the basket with dark chocolate. It's the healthier option. It contains antioxidants and iron that milk chocolate does not. If you really want milk chocolate, make it part of something healthy like fruit or nuts dipped in that chocolate, and fill plastic eggs with healthy snacks. And finally, move away from food, sprinkle the basket with educational games or even a jump rope. And a new study finds the element of surprise is key in babies' learning. Johns Hopkins researchers presented babies with familiar objects like a ball. The babies weren't too impressed when the ball rolled down a ramp and when stopped at a wall as expected. But when researchers used a little magic trick to make it seem like the ball was passing through a wall, the babies perked up, even banging the ball on a table to test its solidity. Experts say it shows the babies didn't just learn more about surprising objects, but went out of their way to understand them. Coming up next at 6:48 on Coastal Sunrise Weekend. Get out and enjoy this beautiful Saturday downtown. We'll show you a few of the weekend happenings. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Coastal Sunrise Weekend, a beautiful sight at a national park in China. Tourists were amazed when what was described as a sea of clouds engulfed the area. The sight showed up after a sudden spring shower. Looking down from the mountaintops, you could see the valleys covered in what seemed like an endless number of clouds. The clouds continuously changed shape, sometimes looking like waves breaking on the cliffs.
Now, Storm Team 3 weather powered by Hargray Live Titan Radar.
Oh, and you better believe I was loving that. The huge weather nerd in me, I could probably even tell you what type of clouds those were. Now, speaking of clouds and what we have across the area, most of it at the mid to upper levels, that is ahead of our cold front, which will be moving through later on today, upping our rain chances to 40 to 50%. Current conditions, the Bull River Marina, 63 degrees, winds out of the southwest, pumping up our temperature, pumping up the moisture, and setting the scene for those scattered showers, even a few thunderstorms later on today towards the south of I-16. So the very latest satellite and radar composite, the cold front right now is around Macon. It's moving towards the southeast. What's happening is the air is converging. It is lifting with the moisture that has led to the scattered showers. Now for tonight, conditions getting much better as high pressure right now around Kansas into Nebraska moves towards the east. Drier air will move in. 49 degrees is my forecast for tonight. But before we get to that, not even close to the 40s. It is very mild, very muggy. 64 degrees, the current temperature in Savannah. Cold air charging south. 20s and 30s around the northern half of the country. 17 degrees in International Falls. 27 for Green Bay and Chicago at 29 degrees. Best rain chances for today will be during the late morning, early afternoon in Savannah. Give or take 40% at 11 a.m. towards noon. The cloud cover will increase for this morning and then decrease by the late afternoon. Once that cold front moves through, drier air will work its way in. High temperatures for today topping out in the mid 70s. So let's get you throughout the day, hour by hour, with our rain chances. This is around 10 o'clock in the morning. Notice how it's going to come in from the west, move east. Most of it light to moderate rainfall around I-16 and then approaching I-95. If you're wondering about severe weather for today, the chances are very low, but there will be better energy and instability around the Georgia and Florida border and as a whole south of I-16. That is where our chances for thunderstorms will be a little bit greater. Around 4:30 in the afternoon, notice how the rain chances start to wrap up. That is the influence of that cold front moving through, drier air working its way in, and that also will help to break away our cloud cover during the evening hours as the temperatures start to drop. So for today, to recap it, temperatures topping out in the 70s. Because the rain is going to move in so quickly, I'm not expecting a big rain event. Most areas either at or below a 1/10 of an inch of rain. Winds will be breezy at times, occasionally gusting 15 to 20 miles per hour. Could be as mild as 79 degrees inland. Breezy day. Keep that in mind. Winds will start out of the west and then eventually transition to out of the north. Bring the jacket for tonight. Upper 40s to lower 50s. Could be as chilly as 41 degrees inland. 2 time frames to take out the boat, first of which will be over, let's say, the next 2 to 3 hours, and then also during the late afternoon, because the best rain chances will be late morning, early afternoon. 3-day forecast, your Easter Sunday, good looking day. We're going to start with a lot of sunshine, more clouds during the second half of the day, 71 degrees, and then mostly cloudy to overcast for your Monday, 74 with a 40% chance of rain. So for today, keep it on the safe side, bring the umbrella, especially around noon.
Man, didn't it seem like it took a while for the weekend to finally get here?
Yeah, but it took its bittersweet time. I mean, the weather was good yesterday.
Yeah, it was. But Courtney Cole is here. She is here with what we can expect to do, some fun events for Saturday. If the rain doesn't, mar the chances.
Yeah, damper our plans, yeah.
Yeah, Raquel and Matt, I heard 2 words in the forecast that I don't think anyone in Savannah likes to hear: cold and rainy. So, Matt, I need you to hold off on that rain at least.
See what I can do.
Okay. But let's take a look at what's going on Easter weekend. Here are some fun things for you and your family to do. Right here in Savannah, you and the kids can meet the Easter Bunny and Nate the Gnat. That's a new one at the Egg Hunt at Grayson Stadium. It's from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. There'll also be bubble soccer and live music from the local band Tell Scarlet. And if you're out in the Richmond Hill area this weekend, there'll be a community egg hunt today at the J.F. Gregory Park. It starts at 10:30. There'll also be food, entertainment, games, and of course, you'll get your chance to get a picture with the Easter Bunny. And for all those viewers in Hilton Head, we can't forget about you. You can join in on the Easter fun too in Harbortown. There'll be an Easter egg hunt at the Sea Pines Resort. It starts at 11 a.m., but it ends when all those eggs are found, so make sure you get out there early. And if you're looking to check out some new art this weekend, I have the perfect events for you. The first one is the Savannah Art Walk. It starts today at 4 p.m. The event's being held at the Bohemian Hotel on Bay Street in Savannah. Guests will have the chance to visit 20 galleries from a variety of artists and even grab a glass of wine along the way. And on Savannah's historic River Street, you'll find the River Street Art Fest. The free event starts at 10 this morning. You'll also be able to catch some live music too. The fest wraps up at 10 p.m. tonight. Now you can find out any more information that you need about this and other Easter activities by searching Easter egg hunts on WSAV.com. Courtney Cole, WSAV News 3.
Now, Sunrise Sports, presented by University of South Carolina, Palmetto College.
Well, good morning, everyone. Huge honor and a string of accolades for a couple of high school basketball teams this week. Jenkins Warriors state champions, Beach Lady Bulldogs finished second. This week, they got the opportunity to accept a couple of huge honors at City Hall and beyond. You'll have to forgive some of these young men and women if the magnitude of the honors they received this week are a little lost on them.
It may not be a big deal to you now, but as you get older, you'll understand how, the City Hall would take time out of their schedule just to commend you for doing a good job.
Jenkins High's Warriors and Beach High girls basketball teams were honored at City Hall Thursday afternoon for 2 jobs very well done last basketball season. The Beach ladies were state runners-up. Jenkins won it all. Thursday was the city of Savannah's chance to say thank you.
They all really lack, the experience, just coming in here and being a part of this. It's a great experience being in there. First time in the City Hall. It felt wonderful being in there.
The girls are very excited. Although we didn't win the championship, they were very excited to get the acknowledgments from yesterday, the Board of Education, and today from the City Hall.
It's been a busy stretch for both of these teams. Jenkins spent Tuesday in Atlanta, where they toured the state capitol and met with Governor Deal. Wednesday, the Lady Bulldogs were honored at the Board of Education. A couple of weeks ago, the Warriors had a spot in the St. Patrick's Day Parade.
And I like to talk about sports is how kids benefit from playing sports, because, you know, through sports it allows you to travel and allows you to do different things and go out and meet different people.
Both coaches say the seniors are most likely to let moments like this sink in right now, but it doesn't mean the others aren't excited as well.
One of my sophomores, Elite Williams, he been like, you know the governor named Nathan Deal. I said, how you know that? He said, because I do my research, coach. I said, well, that's great, you know, as a sophomore, just to, you know, be on top of things like that.
And the memories of their accomplishments in sports will last a lifetime off the court as well.
After a Minnesota boy noticed several unwanted bunnies on Craigslist right after Easter, he didn't see a problem. He saw a business. He gives people a chance to try out having a bunny as a pet before deciding to give it a forever home. Jana Shortall has the story.
I'm a bunny.
For some, the farming bug bites even in the city.
I'm Caleb Smith. I'm the founder of STEM Bunnies.
Say what?
It's a business that we can foster rabbits out to kids to up to 8 weeks.
Ooh, he did a good deal, bunny. True story.
This is Snow White.
This kid and his mom learned something troubling around this time last year about these furry little creatures.
These are 90.
When they went on Craigslist and saw just after Easter, 350 rabbits were posted to give away. Seems families like the idea of bugs rather than the reality of life with bunnies.
When the babies...
So this farmer found a solution.
We want families to not buy a rabbit, but to foster a rabbit first with us.
Caleb and his family raised the rabbits.
They're called silver fox.
They live on farms or in foster care. They have 90 total. 36 are fostered out. This afternoon, they held Bunny 101-y, sorry, couldn't help it, for families interested in taking one on. In turn, folks got the annual bunny pic that beats all mall photos. Caleb reminisced about what his dreams used to be.
Well, when I was younger, I wanted to be a news reporter.
Oh, troubled child, the bullet you dodged, paying its dividends now, when even the big guy came by to say thanks for saving his peeps.
I can't fix their ears.
Definitely something that I should have tried out, rent a bunny instead of getting one, because I actually had one probably when I was in middle school, and his name was Romeo, because, you know, I was in that phase of Romeo, where art thou, Romeo, you know.
Okay.
And he was black and white and so adorable, but I just, you know, as a kid that age, just kind of get tired of it.
How long did you have it?
Probably for a good year and a half, but, you know.
Year and a half?
I'm a teenager, I didn't really take care of it too much. So.
I joined the club. Yeah, I had a hamster. And yeah, it was. Oh, that's a story. That's a story for another time. But
did your parents have to give it away though? Because they had to give away my bunny.
Yeah, my mom. Like anything, we had the pets, and then our parents took care of it. So that was kind of what we had with the hamster. But you know, as far as the forecast goes for today, chance of rain, scattered showers. Here's what I'm expecting hour by hour. Best rain chances late morning, early afternoon, light to moderate. And then watch what happens by the late morning. The rain chances wrap up, drier air works its way in, and temperatures for today will top out into the 70s. Bring that umbrella late morning, early afternoon, mid 70s. Everybody have a nice Saturday.
So as long as that rain stays away, it'll be good, right?
That's right, especially for all the bunnies.
All right, well, thanks for joining us on this weekend edition of Coastal Sunrise. We'll be back with an update for you at 9 a.m. See you then.
Well, good Saturday morning for today. Scattered showers, even a few thunderstorms are possible. Those rain chances between 40 to 50%. Best time frame for rain, late morning, early afternoon, and then improving conditions, especially during the early afternoon. Winds breezy at times, high temperatures in the mid 70s. Only a very slight chance of rain for Easter Sunday. Enjoy it. Clouds will increase during the second half of the day, and then for Tuesday, 82 degrees, mostly cloudy, better rain chances Thursday into Friday.